Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Bill. How are you, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm well. I got some really good sleep. My walk this morning was frigid and energizing. Two jackets, still cold. Fingers were numb. So
Brisk.
got back and did my journaling this morning. And yesterday was just a solid day. I kind of struggled through yesterday. I just had like low energy. Really just wanted to nap, honestly, for most of the morning. But pushed through and had a solid day. Got a lot done. So
That's good. That's good. I did not have a walk. That was too cold for me. I walked my dog around this morning. I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also had a very productive day yesterday.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. It was.
Good morning, Michelle.
It was a high willpower day for me, which does not always happen. Like where you're just like, yes, just knocking them down. So
yeah, that was me this morning on the walk, right? Because I walked outside. I turned on my Strava because I track the same mile around like my neighborhood every morning, and I turned it on and walked about 3 houses, and I was like, today would be a good day to skip, and then I was just like, nah, like think about how awesome it's gonna feel to like do it when it's this cold, and then I did it, and then I was journaling about it because it's like, did I want to do it just because it was difficult so that I could talk about it? Like, does that take away from the effort itself? So
no, it's not. It might take away from the mindset, but it definitely doesn't take away from the effort. The effort's the effort.
Well, I know, but if the effort is done just to like brag and talk about it, versus the effort being like enough kind of deal. Like,
yeah.
It's weird because like we're here every morning kind of talking about like the things that we're doing, and it could be construed as bragging depending upon where you're sitting.
I guess so.
But I was excited to do it because like I knew that it was going to get me like ready for the rest of the day, and then excited to talk about it because like while it's cold, there's lots of cold days.
Yeah,
you can make it through.
Yeah, that's all I meant was physically your body can't tell the difference. It's like, thank you for doing that to my body. That's how your body speaks, by the way, in third person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, So, yeah.
Does it talk in Jake Jordan's voice?
In my head.
In my head. He said in my head.
I don't know. Does it sound that way to you?
All the voices in my head sound like me.
I hope not all of them.
Oh man, that was joke of the day. We're not going to beat that at all.
Well, it's funny. As I had a baseball coach that would tell me, we talked about this not so deliberately, right? But I would be like, you don't do the reps so that you can brag to your friends that you did the reps. You do the reps because your body needs the reps. And if you want to go brag to your friends, it's up to you. But your body needs the reps. So he used to say that all the time. We do the reps because your body needs the reps. Muscle memory.
I'm going to change subjects because I've been meaning to tell you this for like 3 days now. There's this one Capital One commercial that comes on all the time. And it starts with a guy talking, and then it cuts to Taylor Swift. And she's like opening this huge closet, and she's like, whatever am I going to wear today? It looks chilly outside. And it's just all the same cardigan. There's like 30 of the same cardigan, right? And she picks one, and she's like, this one, and then walks away. And Alice loses it every time that this commercial comes on. And I don't really know enough about Taylor Swift's like music or process or anything, but like my daughter likes her, so okay, that's fine. But I was like, I've heard people talk about like how ridiculously like hot she is, which like I don't see that at all. I'm just like, okay, like whatever. But I was like, she looks very elfish. She looks like a very tall elf.
Yes,
right?
I agree.
And then Melissa was like Jake. I said, what? She goes, Jake has elf-like features and doesn't seem as tall as he really actually is, and it's because of his features. He looks elfish, but like Lord of the Rings elf, not like a Christmas elf. And I was like
a tree making cookies.
Yes, exactly. Okay. And I was like, okay. And she goes, You're gonna tell him this now, aren't you? Oh yeah, on the show.
Oh yeah, on the air.
She goes, don't tell him. Don't tell him, he's gonna hate me. And I'm like, no. That's not how Jake Jordan works.
That's not how Jake Jordan works. See, third person, it works. I don't think I've never been told that. But yeah, you're right. I'm not offended. Legolas is a badass, so I'm gonna go with the Legolas and just pretend like it was a compliment, and then just leave it there.
Is it Legolas? I thought it was Legolas. No, now I can't even like think about how I want to say it in my head because I'm thinking about how you said it.
I don't know. It's Lego.
Yeah,
but he's not a Lego person. He's an elf.
Lego my ego.
Ooh, that's
I'm going old school.
I love Legos. All right, this. Don't get me started on food. All of a sudden, I take over the show and start talking about food. It's no good.
You and 11 just love Eggo waffles. It's like the only thing.
That's true. And Lego apparently too, because we're related. It's a cousin. Yes,
apparently, yeah.
Maybe that's it. Maybe you're right. Maybe I have skinny features. That's why I look short on camera. Who knows?
I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing though. I like just the comparison of the two. I thought was funny.
That is funny. That is great. Tell her I'm extremely upset that she invited sooner.
She'll probably cry if I tell her that you're upset.
No, tell her I'm extremely upset that she didn't tell me sooner.
Okay,
that's all. Yeah. Well, man, your household must be fun at night. There sounds like there's some fun conversation each evening.
Yeah, we try, right? Sometimes it doesn't go that way. But it's funny because like Melissa and I work together. We're on the same team. We're raising a child together. But for most of the workday, she might as well be working for somebody else, right? Yeah. We're not working on the same projects. She'll slack me a question from like the bedroom because like she doesn't even like to work in here because I'm on these calls all day and I'm loud and doing my thing. Yeah. And so like she's just working in the bedroom, right? Like working on the book and all this stuff. And so whenever we're done for the day and we like want to hang out, it's nice, which is cool.
It is. It's good to have separation like that. I think. As if not that it would be bad or anything, but like when you don't work in the same room all day, well, you know what they say. Yeah. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, we ran over to Staples yesterday because I love office supply stores. Like it's one of my favorite places to go just look at things that I don't need to buy.
I didn't know that.
Oh man, like the pen aisle is my jam. I love like a nice dense pen aisle. Right. And then the Staples we went to had this whole area for like cable management and like desk organizing stuff, and it had all these kind of different like cable like manipulators that are like sticky on one side so you can take your cable management to like the next level. And yeah, I was very excited because we got that out there.
Do you go to like Mont Blanc level love for pen?
So I love the niceness. I love the experience of a nice pen. I don't see myself ever buying a Mont Blanc. I know people who swear by them. Like my friend John Lopez, he won't write with anything that's not a Mont Blanc, and he's got like 3 of them, and he's had them for years. Like he had them back in the day whenever we were working together at T-Mobile. I was like 25, 26 years old, and this dude pulls out a Mont Blanc pen. I was like, "Hey, can I see that?" He said, "No." I said, "Why not?" And he goes, "Do you know what this pen is?" I said, "No." And he's like, "It's a Mont Blanc." And I was like, "Okay, and?" He's like, "It's kind of an expensive pen." I was like, "Okay." So, I like looking at pens, right? I like buying pens. But when it comes to my writing, I only really use one pen. So the next like thing that I'm going to do is get like a nicer body that'll hold these pen cartridges. So, but that's a ways down the road. But yeah, I love looking at all that stuff like binders, and I don't know why. Like,
oh, I do. It makes sense. I get it now. Well, you're a C, compliance. So
yeah, that's true.
Things that house things make you feel happy.
I collect. So I keep a lot of my shoe boxes for all the shoes I buy. It drives Melissa crazy. But I'm like, look, we might be able to put something in here. We could organize into this box that we already have here. And because of Jordan's, the box looks dope. Why would we get rid of the box? That doesn't make any sense.
Sure. Yeah. There's on eBay, there's boxes for sale for $25 to $50, just the box.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, I have a mont block that I inherited from my granddad.
That's cool. That's cool.
It's 80 years old. It's actually 82. He bought it in 1939.
Wow.
And it's like this gold silver mix, and it's just a long skinny little, and it's got a tiny little arrow where those little clips are.
Yeah.
That holds stuff, and it is the coolest little pen. But it's sitting in a safe with just hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
So I don't ever use it. But it's cool. When I pick it up, it's super light, but it's heavy enough because it's metal. It's cool. I like pens, but I don't go to the store looking at them.
I have one of the space pens that you can write even upside down, and the pen body itself is only about this long. But I liked the and actually I don't even know where this pen is right now. But so the pen body is only about this long, but part of it is with the cap is about this long, right, from this finger to this thumb back here. But the cap is super long, so when you put it on the back of the pen, it makes it seem like a regular pen length, so that way you can still rest it against this part of the groove. And it's man, these little details are the things that I geek out on so much, because this is a small pen normally, but then you put the lid on the back and now it's a regular. I'm like, that's so cool. I love that stuff.
That is cool. I can appreciate that. That's a neat detail.
Yeah, and sat in a bunch of office chairs because while I have one that's okay, it's not a preferred one, and looked at preferred one. Excuse me. Looked at desks, and I could spend. I could probably spend 3 hours inside of Staples and just be like, what else are we going on?
Just fine.
Yeah, just fine. So weird.
Yeah. Can we go to what is it, CompUSA next?
Yeah. I remember going to CompUSA and buying the big spindle of blank CDs because I just gotten a CD burner. Put into my HP compact, right? that I gotten for college, and was just burning people's CDs and charging $2 each, and the CDs were 50 cents each. Just making a nice $1.50 per CD that I was making. Yeah.
Yes, that we were swiping from LimeWire or.
Yeah, no, just straight Napster at that time, man. It was I was just blatantly ripping, everything I could.
You think back on that? So I had a friend in college that had servers in his college dorm room.
Mm-hmm.
With music, with tens of thousands of songs, and I think back on that, I'm like, it wasn't easy to keep data back then. It wasn't like it is now. Dude literally had stacked computers in his dorm room, and he had any song you wanted, ever. What CD you want? Got it, done.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Thinking about how much room we have for stuff now, and thinking about 2003, 2004, when you were everybody was torrenting and still doing Napster if you could get away with it and stuff like that. Man, how much room we just burned through. So yeah, I think that's interesting.
There's a fair amount of waste sitting in.
Yeah, for sure.
In trash areas of just CDs and computers.
Yes, that's true.
Yep.
What do you got today, Bill?
I have a pretty busy day. I took a friend's advice and started putting some more of my stuff back on the calendar instead of just putting it on my to-do list. And all of a sudden, my calendar is a lot fuller than it's been in the past. It's funny how that works.
Yes.
So, that's the calendar today.
Yeah.
So John is happy. So he can.
Yeah. Man. So I'm working with this new team, and I had a meeting with the head of sales yesterday, and we were talking about the CRM, and because now we've rolled it out to everybody on his team, and we were just kind of talking through some of the stuff yesterday, because one person just had an ungodly amount of tabs, and I was like, I got to show you this tool. This saves me so much time and so much processing power. Showed her one tab, and it was so funny. She opened it up. She said, put all tabs into one tab. And then 5 minutes later, she's like, my computer is so much faster.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's what happens. And she was like, is that because of the one tab? And I was like, yeah. She's like, oh my, this woman probably had 35 tabs open in one Chrome instance. I was like, whoa, that's excessive. And then this other person had like really great questions about templates and everything else. And so I showed them this copy and paste clipboard manager thing that I use, so that way I can keep hundreds of things just kind of like copied. So like I don't keep my templates inside of my tools, right? So like I don't use any of the templates inside of Pipedrive. I don't use templates inside of my project management stuff. I keep all that in like a system level as opposed to like a software level.
I mean, so, that one is.
What's that?
So I may need to know what that one is.
Oh man, yeah. This tool's $15 one time, and I have hundreds of things just like saved in it. And I can also organize it by different like business entities. So, like I've got separate ones for like adaptive growth and this and sales throwdown and John Small Mountain. So I can just endlessly drop in like what I need to, which is super nice. $15.
What's it called?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Oh, it's called Copy. Kind of like Texas Hold. So it's like apostrophe EM.
Hold'em? It's just called Hold'em? Or Copy'em?
Copy'em.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm writing it down.
It used to be called Copy Paste, but they changed it. So now it's just Copy apostrophe That's it. Yeah, just like you put it on there, but there's a space.
Awesome. We'll check that out. I'm looking for ways to copy paste things that I'm going to be using like an hour from now, but I've got it prepped because I've been using it already and I want to use it again. Yes. From now. There's something like that. So there it is in chat for everybody.
The other one that's really good that I've been playing with is this thing called Alfred. And Alfred is much more of like a productivity tool than just Copy'em. So like you can copy snippets and it works like a clipboard manager, but you can also do like text expander. You can also program like macros and stuff like that. So that way you can just type in something and you can actually have it mapped to where like that takes over for your Spotlight search. And it does a much better job than Spotlight. So like I'm still working on that and customizing it for my needs, but I am enjoying that.
That's good. I've had a text expander in the past, especially when I worked in SEO and we'd have to write copy and you'd write one word and then you hit the text expander and it would give you, ways to write about that word.
That's dope.
Super useful if you can figure it out. But it's kind of one of those tools that like, there's so many ways you can use it. You're almost like, it's like you're looking at the ocean. You're like, oh, this could be really helpful if I could figure out what surfboard to pick up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. So he was dealing with this thing. He was like, hey, so tell me more about this one tab thing, and I was like, well, you're using Safari and this only works in Chrome, and he's like, well, actually, I use both. I said, why would you use both? And so we're kind of talking through it for a second, and he was like, why do you seem surprised that I was using both? And I was like, well, you're using two tools to accomplish the same task. So mentally in your head, you're probably picking some to put in Safari and some to put in Chrome, right? And he was like, yeah. I said, that's honestly effort that your mind doesn't need to be doing, right? Pick one tool that does the job and use that tool. So that way you're not, okay, where is this again? Right. Like this should never be happening. You should have your kind of like inboxes and your tool sets. That way you don't have to, I'm going to use Chrome this time. You know what I'm saying? And so he was just kind of blown away by this. And I was like, you vet your tools kind of like one-to-one and you use that tool until you figure out that it's missing something. Don't start introducing new tools just because like they're new and shiny. Like your existing tool set needs to be missing something. And he was like, whoa, wow.
So what was the reasoning? Like what was the use case? Like how was he using
it? So here's the deal. He liked Chrome, but he never moved Safari away from being his primary browser, so all of his links opened up inside of Safari. So it wasn't a conscious decision. It was just bad versioning due to like habits. Really.
Yeah, you never changed the default.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well,
yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got to have that conversation yesterday, but the little tools are great for getting a lot more stuff done. And I think that people forget that, because they're like, okay, am I going to look at HubSpot? HubSpot is a thing. It's very expensive, right? It is, right? It's really expensive. So you could totally probably build a stack of tech that does the exact same thing as HubSpot for a lot less. Less.
Oh yeah, for sure. But that's why people buy those, because they don't want to do that, right?
No, I get that, right? So the people who don't want to pay HubSpot hire me, so that way I can figure out how to build the sales stack that they need to accomplish what they're looking to do.
So how many Chrome extensions do you have active on your browser right now?
So it depends upon the browser, because like I've got an adaptive growth, which is this one. I've got a John Small Mountain over here. I have a Morning Bill and a Sales Throwdown and all these other ones. So for adaptive growth, which is the one that we're looking at right now, I use a Drive plugin, so that way it's like really easy to like screenshot and save to Drive. I use OnePass. What else do I have here? I have Crystal, so that way I can kind of see the personality of the people that I'm talking to over there. I have a snippet saver, which kind of allows me to like do so that way I don't have to type out Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu every time that I want to say it, which is more than I probably should. I have Pocket, so that way I can save articles to like one centralized location, so I can always go back to one spot and find the things I want to. I have a Pomodoro timer, which I don't use a whole lot anymore because I've got that built into other places. I use the Padlock Chrome extension, which is super great because you can tell it how many Chrome tabs you want to have open, and if you try to open more than that, it just shocks you, which I did not know about, right? So the default is 15, and whenever I first logged in and found it, I guess I had right at 15, and then I went to go open another tab, and it shocked me, and I was like, what? And it didn't register because I didn't know that there was like a max number of tabs. So then I tried to do it again, and it shocked me again. It was like this very weird, like laboratory moment of like try and shock, and then like anger, like is this thing broken? Is this thing broken? You know, and like I did it 3 times. So that's on there. I use a video speed controller for YouTube because I hate watching like certain people that I follow at regular speed. Actually, I don't like watching most people at regular speed. So I use that.
Built in though?
What's that?
Doesn't YouTube have that built in?
They do now, but what this is nice for is like webinars when they try to like hide like the Wistia or the Vimeo controls that we have to watch the whole stupid pitchy webinar. This still shows up in the top right hand corner, and then I can just adjust the speed as necessary, which is super nice.
Yes, it is.
And then Ad Blocker is the other one that I use. And I've got this one tool which is actually really great for like taking whole screenshots, even like the parts that are like outside of view. Because if we're doing like design or copy overhauls or something like that, we want to get the whole view in and not just like what's viewable above the fold.
Yep, those are great. So
use that there. I have Honey, but I don't ever use it because I don't really shop out of this Chrome instance.
Okay.
And then I use Fox clocks because I've got people who are in different time zones in different parts of the world on my team. So I want to know what time it is there before I ping them.
That's smart, Fox clocks. I like that. I always like reviewing those with people because I almost always get at least one new extension to add.
Yeah. No, it's funny. Every time someone like shares their screen, they're like, yeah, can you share my, can you see my screen? I'm like, yes, I'm just looking at your Chrome extensions. Like, yes, I'm obsessed with people's docs. If you have a Mac, right? Like, what all do you keep in the dock? What all do you keep up in the menu bar? And what do you keep as your extensions in Chrome? That's all that's all I'm looking at whenever someone shares their screen with me.
Totally.
Yeah. Can you see this thing here? I can, but I'm not looking at it. I'm looking at your tabs. I'm looking at your bookmarks bar. I'm looking at these little bitty things. It was funny. I interviewed Quentin on Saturday, right? And so like I was doing some research on him before, and I went like for some reason I was just drawn to his LinkedIn profile, right? It's like I'm looking at it and I'm looking at all this stuff, and one of the things that I noticed is like he'd given out a lot of recommendations. He'd given you a recommendation actually, right? And I was like, man, can we talk about the recommendations on your LinkedIn profile? And he was like, he's like, well, I've gotten some pretty cool, great words. And I was like, no, the ones you've given. And he was like, oh man, why do you want to talk about that? I was like, because I think that's interesting. You're giving praise to other people. And when you look at it, I could see when you're trying to use it to like network up versus like when you kind of like shift and then you're like managing and leading other people and you're trying to set them up for success, right? There's like this kind of clear shift in the testimonials you give to people. And he was like, man, no one's ever asked me about this. And I was like, this is the stuff I want to talk about. So that's kind of how we started the interview. But yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I hadn't realized he'd given so many out.
Oh man. Go look at them. It's like 27 or 32 or something like that, and each one is like well written. It's like a brick of words. It's not just like Tim was good at his job. It's like Tim's going to be a force to be reckoned with because I got to work with him on this project and he did X, Y. I mean, like incredibly well done. It's like I appreciate that. And to that end, I got a thank you card yesterday from my buddy and BIL, Jake Jordan. Check this out.
There you go.
Came in the mail. I was super impressed and blown away.
Real mail.
Real mail, and this was a beta experiment. So I got the first run of it, which was super nice. It was really, really great.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and he gave me some good feedback too. So it's good to know. I actually sent out 3 different versions too, and so one really wacky
testing.
Yeah. I had a really kind of wacky one. It was more like out there, and then had another one that was kind of more artsy, and then I had that was like my formal, like kind of my version.
That, and I put this in the feedback. The only thing that I could find to like try to improve on is that I don't think this card does a good job of like the feeling that you're trying to do. I think it's too nice, right? It needs to be a little bit more folksy, a little bit more,
I'll show you.
I've got 2.
Yeah, I want to see the other ones.
I've got, and actually I just sent out the last of one of them, which is annoying. Man, that's annoying.
So this one's kind of more artsy, feely, kind of like.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. And then
that's the jam.
And then I have a blue one, and I actually need to find another package, or I guess I can find anything on Amazon, I guess. But it says, "Here's to your awesomeness," and it's got like awesomeness in big white letters, the blue background.
Yeah.
So kind of two more fun ones and one more formal one. So I was kind of thinking too, like if I'm writing someone who's like a baby boomer, I might use the more formal, depending on my relationship with them or whatever. Or if it's somebody I've just met and I really appreciated the exchange, I might use the formal one. But anyway, just testing some things out. But one of the things that quarantine has made me appreciate, I mean, clearly because I'm high in the eye area is interaction of sorts, but like it got me thinking about what are ways that I can interact better with my friends, with my clients, rather than just hop on a Zoom call and that's all we do.
Yes,
things we can do. And then of course Joey Turner, he's doing like a note challenge or a 21-day note challenge. That's where I started the notes.
Is Joey Turner the same guy as Joey Chandler, or is that the same guy?
No. Joey Chandler's he's in California, I think.
That's what I thought, but for some reason I was lumping them together in my head. So, too many Joeys, sir. And now Jake is frozen, or maybe I'm frozen. I'm not exactly sure what's happening.
Well, no, we both were, and it was on.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so I decided, let's. I use the note challenge to test out these cards and then kind of extend it to extra stuff. Yeah,
I like that. I've been doing some like every Friday, one reach out to a client who I feel like went above and beyond the week, right? So last week, reached out to the team that Levi's on, right? And because their owner came out and said, "Hey, I need a lot more data. Like we're holding our clients to like a standard that we're not even performing on." And like the guys did admirably, like way more thoughtful and reflective about like what's happening on their sales calls, and that's what it takes to get really good, in my opinion. So, in just a week, these guys have already, because nobody likes change, and salespeople love to, oh man, more reporting, why can't I just hit my goal and everything's going to be fine? Because honestly, you don't want that, like I know that people talk about that, but that's not the thing that you should be going for.
Yeah.
So these guys killed it, and so I've been trying to be very thoughtful and deliberate about sending a message to like someone who I'm working with, and acknowledging their effort, because it's always easier not to work than it is to work.
Yes, and I think little touch points that aren't the standard, no matter what it is. If you always talk on Zoom, text, just drop a text encouragement, whatever it is. But of course, the mail piece, physical mail. Like of any sort, not just even like I sent a book to somebody. I sent a set of earbuds to somebody because they had mentioned that they lost a good pair. And
oh, nice.
for like a really nice price. And so I just shipped them out like next day to make sure they didn't do it before they bought their own pair,
Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot.
Just, I'm starting the tournament March 1st. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, exactly. The same one I'm doing. So it looks like Michelle's going to help on that.
Nice.
Yeah, you stand out so much when you do little tiny things. You don't have to do big grand gestures. So.
Yep, absolutely.
It's gone a long way. Cool. Well, what do you got today?
I've got 8:15 with Levi and Jordan. 9 a.m. we have a call with the book coach because the edit is done, which feels very weird to say. Yeah, like Melissa's just kind of waiting for me to finish writing the conclusion, so that way we can kind of talk about it. Okay. And for some reason, I've got some avoidance around that. So that's at 9, and then I've got a fair amount of blocking and tackling. 1 o'clock, I have a networking call with this new guy who's in Boston right now. He's a jiu-jitsu purple belt. He fights MMA, and he's also an entrepreneur. So we're going to meet and talk about all that stuff. Sales lab at 2, which is like my favorite part of the week. And then I have a private lesson from 3 to 4. And then at 4:15, I have a book call that my new VA prospector got for me.
What's a book? Oh, you have a call booked.
Yes.
Call. Okay.
Yeah. So far we've had 3 book calls in just over a week. So not bad. Yeah. That's good. Room to improve, but not bad.
Yeah. That's data though. That's good.
Yes, data. That is important.
All right. Well, it's 8:16, so I'll let you go.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Levi. Thank you, anybody else who's in here popped in. And
all you lurkers, if you're lurking, thank you.
Just give us one of these in the comments or something, or one of these, or something. Give us something.
Cuss us out. Call us names. Share your goals. That's all. It's all pretty much the same thing. Cuss us out. Share your goals.
That's right. That's right.